Hi everybody! Today I'm going to make another one of my greeting cards, and for that I am going to stamp some images onto this white cardstock. This is just a piece of white scrap cardstock, nothing fancy. You can take anything you like, and I'm going to use the Christmas trees from the Christmas stamp set that I have, and I'm inking it with Bordeaux red ink here. I'm going to link all of the supplies that I used today below in the descriptions, as well as on my blog, together with some high resolution photos. So take a look, hop on over once you're done with this video. So this is the big tree that I'm going to use, and I will stamp the smaller version that came with the same stamp set as well. Takes a bit to clean off all of the stamps and stuff. And I'm going to stamp it twice, that tiny tree there, but I'm not going to use both of those in the end, just one. Usually they say, or you say that an odd number looks better on a card, but for whatever reason I didn't like to have the third tree there. So I'm just going to let that sit on my desk for a bit, letting the ink dry and do its thing before I cut it. And today I'm going to use some gray cardstock, which I think works perfect with the Bordeaux red. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside of the card rather than on the front side. So this is going to be a very modern, very clean and straight looking card. There will not be any fuss about that particular thing. So that's why I'm stamping my my sentiment on the inside. And of course I have to clean up my acrylic block because I'm usually getting some ink on there, and I'm just afraid that I stamped that onto my card. But the sentiment that I'm going to use here is from the Sentiment Christmas set that I have, and it says a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in German, which is Frohe Weihnachten und ein glückliches neues Jahr. So I'm just going to let the black ink dry as well. It takes only maybe like 2 minutes, so meanwhile you can clean your stamps and put all of them away and stuff like that. And when you come back to your craft piece, the ink is dry enough to be worked with or worked on. Now that I'm done waiting and cleaning up my desk, I'm going to cut those trees around the ink images pretty much, and I'm going to be very close to the stamped image, only having a tiny white border around the bigger tree. For the smaller one, I'm not gonna leave a border. It's it's just going to be cut, and I'm also going to get rid of most of the star that is on top of the tiny tree. So I'm just going all around it. It's fairly simple there, but then again, I'm going for a straight card, for a simple card, for a clean card, and actually the shape of those trees helps along with it. There is no muss, no fuss there. So I'm not going for any of those quote-unquote romantic images that I could have stamped, but I'm going for the clean cut look here. This card reminds me of the being 20 years old, being totally hip and not having to do anything with traditional Christmas kind of card, you know? So I'm having my 2 trees here. I'm just getting rid of the star on top of the smaller one, and I'm getting rid of the border that I cut around it in the first try. I didn't like it a lot. I think the border around the bigger tree makes it stand out a bit more, which I prefer. If you don't like that, just go ahead with cutting the trees in the same style maybe, or any stamp that you are going to use, cut them in the same style if you don't want them to be, one of them being skinnier than the other. So I'm cutting the second small tree as well, and once I'm done, I'm going to decide which one of those trees I'm going to use. As I said before, I'm not going to use both of those trees. While I clean up my board here and getting rid of all those tiny bits of paper, I'm already in my head thinking about which one am I going to use. Am I going to use all 3 of those trees? How am I going to position them and all of that? So cleaning my desk at that moment is kind of zen to me, and gives me enough time to think about things. So I wanted to use this transparent paper, and it has white stars printed on it, like kind of like on a universe, and I find this paper so lovely. And this is a scrap from one of the lanterns that I made. So I'm very happy that I could reuse the scraps of those papers for my cards as well. So I'm just marking how big I need that piece to be, and I'm cutting it down on my cutter, which is not on my desk. That's why I had a little video jump here. It's just cutting out all the images where you can't really see anything. So now I'm using these transparent glue dots on those tiny sheets here, just to glue down my vellum paper. Like when you have this kind of transparent paper, it's very difficult to glue it down with things that you can't see, and you will see the glue dots that I use here. But since they are in a grid, they almost look like a pattern instead of an adhesive on the back side of my transparent paper. So I don't mind you being able to see my glue dots on the back side. I don't have one of those rolls of bigger glue dots, which I'm very happy for about like right about now, because I just can use that grid. But it's very difficult to find those kinds of glue dots in my region, or they are just expensive, or you have to order them not at your craft store but at any other place. So I didn't go for that. I just wanted to save some time and mornings to get up for the delivery service, I have to say. That's why I went for those micro glue dots with those rectangular papers, or square papers, I should say. So now that I have my transparent paper glued down, you can't really see the glue dots yet. You will see them at the photos the latest, but I think in a couple of minutes when I'm zooming in, you will actually see the glue dots. And again, I'm totally fine with those. The grid cluster pattern makes the card actually look even more modern, which I wanted to go for this card design anyways, so I did not mind. So now that I have my transparent paper on my card base, I'm trying to decide how many trees I want to use, if I want to use 2 or 3, in what order I want to use them, where I want to put them, all of that. And I'm just trying out any positioning on the card and see how it works. And I actually like those 2 tiny trees there. So I'm going in with my silver glitter pen, and I'm putting silver glitter dots on all of the red dots that you can see, mostly with the bigger tree there. I'm just, the smaller tree has the same pattern, so I'm just going over all of those dots there, which are supposedly twinkle lights maybe on a Christmas tree. I don't think that they are ornaments. They're just two straight in a row. So I'm just going over my silver with my silver glitter pen all over those dots to, well, connect the red to the gray background and give it like a shiny look. Because it's Christmas, you can go for shiny looks. Like a lot. Also, I colored in the star on the top of the tree, which makes it way more dark. You can actually see the glitter color a lot there. But I don't think that it looks weird. It actually just connects the one thing to the other as it goes for the card design. So I'm using 3D foam squares on the back of my trees. I'm just using one for the tiny tree and a couple of more for the big tree here. Just takes a second. And you see this is real time, so you see how quickly I was able to put this card together. There's nothing fancy, nothing that takes hours and hours and hours of putting together. It's a very simple, very clean, very quick kind of a greeting card to put together. So you can make that on short notice if you have something coming up, like, and instead of buying a card or being like, oh my gosh, I need 2 hours to do something. No, this is a very, very simple and very quick way of making a personalized and very unique greeting card. It's very simple. So maybe that helps you out in Christmas time, which is the craziest time for very many people, being crafters or artists or just quote unquote normal people on this lovely planet. Everybody is just not having enough time. So once I peeled all of the cover pieces away from the 3D foam squares, and that's usually the thing that takes me the longest because I don't have long nails. It takes me quite a bit to get rid of all the protective sheets. I glued down my trees, and now I'm moving on to the sentiment in the inner part of the card. I'm just going over the black ink. Excuse me. I'm just going over the black ink with some silver glitter pen. And that pretty much makes it the card for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and go create right now to do your own stuff for Christmas time. If you've got inspired, I would very much like for you to give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. And hop on over to my blog if you want to see a couple of more high-res videos or any other stuff that I did so far. I have it compiled in a certain way. And I hope I see you tomorrow with a new advent calendar video. Check it out. I will be here, that's for sure. And I hope you have a very good day. Take good care, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.